Today on What Went Wrong, we tell you why producing is a job.
Hello and welcome to What Went Wrong, the show that discusses filmmaking with independent filmmakers who made all the mistakes so you don't have to. I'm Kelly Coughlin with the Bitter filmmakers Brett Mauser and Bradley Bates. Tonight we're going to talk about producing. Brad, in hindsight, what would you have done differently?
I would have taken more time with all kinds of things. Because the time constraints is what forced me into situations that sucked.
We were always rushing. We were always trying to get it done.
Trying to force things that needed more time, really. Getting a reliable actor, getting a reliable location. As a producer, you are the fixer. Something goes wrong, it's your job to fix it. A cop shows up, you deal with the cop. They want to know what's going on. So you need a professional enough person to know how to talk to people professionally. You go to a location and something happens that they didn't expect you to be doing at that location. You've got to talk to the location owner and kind of like let them know what's going on so they don't freak the fuck out. Or like when we shot in that church and I had to go in there and explain to them, okay, this is what we want to do. Will you let us film in here? We're not going to be doing anything like this.
Not sacrificing a chicken.
Not going to be having gunfire. It's just going to be like, dialogue, them talking in the pews. That's your job. Your job is to fix everything and to make sure everything goes smoothly and to make sure you've got everything that he's asking for.
Gas tank.
It's a lot of work.
So what would y'all say went right?
Other side, this side.
There's some times where you get some just awesome locations.
There were some times you
There's
brought
rooftops
some
and stuff.
yeah.
And
So Dog's Life, I think, producing wise, was one of the
that building
best.
was fantastic.
Those locations just
Yeah.
popped.
You get some times where like everything just goes. Well, for instance, here's an example. The first time I ever shot a film, I'd never done anything with film before. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I just know what he wanted. He told me to go get it. I go get it. Was Barrio Rangers. That was my first film ever. And it went flawlessly. It really went. Well, compared to the others.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Compared to the others, it went pretty damn flawlessly. Getting everything done.
It spoiled you.
Yeah, it spoiled me because I thought, this is easy. And then I started doing the other ones, and it's like, oh, hell's breaking loose.
Yeah.
Like everything's dropping out here, actors dropping out, locations dropping out. Then you start realizing, okay, this does suck.
All right, how was your day? I get a little bile on my lip.
And this is hard work, and you start planning for that. You start getting like, okay, we got Plan B location, we got Plan B actor, whatever, because
Things fall through.
stuff will happen. Period.
Did you ever get burned out?
Burned out. It was probably the Saga.
I think that's when it all hit us all.
Is too much. 10 films, 11 films, and a music video in 1 year. Feature length. That's because we were doing 18, 20-hour days for a year. I may have had a few days off in that 1 year. And there were at least 2 or 3 days out of every week where I didn't get sleep for 36 hours.
Wow.
So that did it.
I bet.
Duct tape is like the Force. It has a light side, a dark side, and holds the universe together. But sometimes when you need it most, it's nowhere to be seen. Buy a cheap toolbox that can hold the important essentials like duct tape, a small travel-size mouthwash for those romantic love scenes, batteries, hand wipes, a bottle of fake blood, and clothespins called C-47s on movie sets, and any other type of essentials but often forgotten items. Make sure this toolbox goes with you on all of your shoots, and you'll never be without duct tape. I'm April Cook, and this has been your What Went Wrong Quick Tip.
Yeah, I think what did it for me was how we put all that time and energy into the Innocent Saga. It doesn't go anywhere. Then we make Serial Rabbit 3, and that thing ends up on Netflix.
Yeah. Which I thought was awesome. He took it as like a slap in the face.
Hey, get promotion. Maybe not the kind you wanted.
Yeah. I'll forever be the guy.
I keep telling him, I was like, we need to stick to the stupid. Stick to the Homer Simpson crowd and stick to stupid.
Well, I say that what we should have done is never actually made any movies, just videotaped all of those times where you and I were on the patio smoking cigarettes, thinking about these
Talking
movies, edit them down to 90 minutes and release those. Those would have been...
Well, there were some beautiful stories going on there. I mean,
Sure.
we talked about some stupid shit, coming up with like ideas for movies. Well, what ideas for commercials too when we were working at the WB. We'd come up with some really stupid ideas. You know, that of course got canned because you can't put that on TV.
Did you know that the French were cowards even over 150 years ago?
and that's what you... I mean, and as especially independent filmmakers, that's what you need is a team like us that works well together and feeds off each other.
One of them has to be crazy, one of them has to be rational.
And one of them has to say, but there have been times where you've actually told me you can't do that. But usually it is more, I mean, the shotgun scene from Second to Last Worst Day comes to mind for me, where I had to say, Brad, I don't think we can do that. It's funny, but I don't think...
Well,
we
I
should do
had a
that.
brilliant idea because we wanted to make this scene that was just utterly ridiculous. And so I was like, well, we'll just have... And she needed to die. She needed to die, and like we wanted to have a weird way for her to die. So I was like, well, she's got this shotgun. How does she kill herself with a shotgun? Well, so let's have a in it. And it goes off.
Okay, now let me tell you about Brad here. I've learned this.
He had to rein me in.
I've learned that.
He said, you can't do that. I was like, why not?
I learned this when we met at the WB when we were doing commercial production. Actually, he wasn't even commercial production. He was a salesman, and he just there's this
Worked
scene
my
in
way
Mozart,
into
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
and he never came out of the production office. But I learned this early on. Brad's creativity and hilarity
Peaks and
starts
plateaus.
going like this, and
He
he's
just doesn't know what's
hilarious. Then it just
Drops off.
drops, and leaving everybody going.
What the hell just happened?
I mean, I remember. I mean, we had this character, this mascot that we're the WB guy that we were going to create, and we're having all these funny things about how he's a superhero. He's going to do this. He's going to do this.
And like, why not just make the superhero outfit his actual skin? He can't take it off. It's just his skin. And he's like, okay.
If you don't advertise with the WB23, you're a communist.
But you've got to. The best teams are not. You can't have the opposites attract thing. You can't have complete opposites. That won't work.
Yeah.
You've got to have.
You've got to both be a little nutty.
Yeah, and you've got to be on the same wavelength, but you've also got to have one that's going to be able to step in and say no, and that trust that you're not that you will look at them and go, because there would be times where you'd fight, but there would be like,
And I'd explain it a little more. And he'd go, like,
okay.
oh, yeah, that might work.
You know, because you argue, and that's the way producers should be. That's the problem that I had with
I
a
start
couple of my
debating
producers.
my side. And
Yeah.
trying to get it in there.
And that's the problem that I do not get yes men, because I had 2 or 3 yes people on the saga and through Ponder's Productions where they'd say yes sir, go, and there are times that's good. That's nice to have where you can say I need that done and they go and do it. But
Like he'd do something, I'd be like, well, this lighting needs to be over here or done like this. And
they didn't
and
want
he'd
to
kind
argue.
of listen
with
to
me.
my side of it first before he decides.
Yeah,
And then like I'd move it over there and he'd go, well, that does look better. No, whatever.
but too many of my producers didn't argue with me.
Oh.
They wouldn't come back and say no, you can't do that. Don't do that. They would just accept it and go.
Or just calming him down when he's freaking out.
Yeah.
Understand?
Taking care of the problem so he doesn't have to deal with it because he's freaking out. Or like that problem when you were freaking out.
Which at least once every
A lot.
a lot.
A lot.
Thank you for joining us tonight with the Bitter Filmmakers. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe.